What's up, guys? Mr. Yates back here again with you, talking about area. So one thing we want to look at today is sometimes when we're asked about area, we aren't given those fancy schmancy squares in there. If we get those squares, we know that we can just count them. But in this example, we don't have those squares. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways we could go about solving this. First, I want to take a look at the top. Along the top, it says that it's 7 units long. And down the side, we have 3 units. So if I want to go back to what I already know, I could turn this into one of those problems with a square. So what I could do is, if I know it's 7 units across the top, I could turn it into 7 units across the top. So I'm going to, almost like a fraction bar, split it into 7 different pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 pieces across the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across the top. And I know that this happens 3 times going down. So down the side, I want to split it into 3 rows. Now I have 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, and I'm also going to continue those 7 units going down. So now when I take a look at this, it kind of looks like what we did day 1, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units across the top, and that's repeating 1, 2, 3 times going down. So if I wanted to, I could sit here and I could count all these, and I could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 21. So I know that the area of this shape, this rectangle, is going to be 21 square units. Now I'm just going to put that there for a second because I want to show you a couple other ways that we could solve this. So I'm going to erase all of my lovely work in here, but keep the shape. Alright, so I know some of you are sitting there saying, Mr. Yates, that was cool and all, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to draw those. You know, the fraction bars were kind of tough when we did them, and making the squares even. And even Mr. Yates, if we're going to judge, yours weren't that even. And I know they weren't. I did the best I could. I like using squares because when we talk about area, we really want to incorporate the entire inside of that flat shape, and we don't want to have any wasted space. However, we could also use this information to make an array. So I'm going to show you how we could do that. It's going to be very similar to what we just did. So again, I know that I have 7 units across the top, and I'm not too great at making squares, so I'm just going to do 7 x's across the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 x's across the top. And again, I tried my best to fill up the whole area because again, area is the whole space on the inside of a flat shape. So now I have 7 units across the top, and I know that that repeats 3 times down the side, so I already have 1, 2, 3, and then just like before, I'm going to fill in the rest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, I could go through and I could just count them. And if I were to count all the x's, again, I would get 21 square units as my answer. Now, one more thing I want to show you, and this one might be the quickest. Hopefully some of you are noticing a pattern when we do this. And you may be saying, and if you remember from the first video too, Mr. Yates, it seems like you keep having 7 rows of 3 or 3 rows of 7. And I know from my math vocabulary, usually when we talk about rows and we're making arrays, I could just use multiplication, and you can. So if we see this equation and we want to find the area of this shape, I could, if I'm thinking I just want to go the quickest way there, the most efficient way, I could say, what is 7 times 3? And again, that's going to give me my answer of 21 square units. Excellent. Are there any questions about anything we just did? You in the back, what's your question? Oh, I'm not sure if everybody could hear him, but that's a great question. He asked, how come we keep saying square units? What's a unit? I never measure in unit. I've measured in inches, feet, centimeters, all of that. Never measured in units. Here you go. So units is just an example of any form of measurement we would use. So say if we had this problem and it didn't say units and it said 7 feet and 3 feet, all of our work would be the exact same. Our answer would still be 21, but instead of saying 21 square units, we would say 21 square feet. So that word unit is kind of like a substitution word for whatever you're actually going to be measuring it. Awesome. Well, I hope this helps, guys. Talk to you later.